Good morning, friends. Om Ekatatva Vidmahe Vakratundaya Dhimahi Tano Tanti Prachodaya. Om Ekatatva Vidmahe Vakratundaya Dhimahi Tano Tanti Prachodaya. Om Nasharataya Vidmahe Sitabalabaya Dhimahi Tano Shri Ram Prachodaya. Om Nasharataya Vidmahe Sitabalabaya Dhimahi Tano Shri Ram Prachodaya. Anjaneyaya Vidmahe Mahabalaya Dhimahi Tano Hanuman Tano Hanuman Prachodaya Om Anjaneyaya Vidmahe Mahabalaya Dhimahi Tano Hanuman Prachodaya Om Taprushaya Vidmahe Mahadevaya Dhimahi Tano Rudra Prachodaya Om Taprushaya Vidmahe Mahadevaya Dhimahi Tano Rudra Prachodaya Okay. Okay, friends. Good morning. Good morning. Lori and Sam saying hello. Tammy, great. Thanks for checking in. And yeah, here on Shivani, and the remnants of our fire ceremony that we had last week is still here. I'm going to support that a little bit here at some point as well. Good morning, Sarah. If anyone is new here on the call, I didn't do any promo at all this week, so that's doubtful. But if anyone is new, we have a little conversation first, and then we get into our practices. And we've been kind of traversing for like over a month now this theme of karma, if you will, and it's such a big, it's such a big theme. Good morning, Stephanie. And today I wanted to continue to kind of unpack that in a bit of a unique way, I think, and we'll see, how that looks. But before I do that, I want to read a little something that I wrote about yoga. And this definitely, rates, if you will, with this idea of, of our karma and things. So, and I wrote this, it's not very long, a number of years ago. Yoga is an art form. Yoga, a practice whereby the practitioner is recreating the story of time, the universe's relationship with its own conscious evolution, and the evolution of consciousness. The universe's relationship with its own conscious evolution and the evolution of consciousness. told through the vessel of the body, mind, spirit complex of the human species. My role will help you learn and discover time's origin in you and the inner nature of spirit's potential. And so, this idea about the story of time, if you will, and yoga is where we are unraveling the process of karma and the karmashaya, if you will, the storehouse of our samskaras and our karmas. And today I wanted to enforce this idea of two words that I wrote on the thing, grahya, and that means the object, and grahitri, and that means the subject. And so in our practice, in our mind, in our thought patterning, in our samskaras, there's always going to be, grahya. There's always going to be an object. And that object can have, say a subtle content or a very physical content. What we understand that it's that recognition of the solidification of the universe, if you will, that creates itself. And our ability to step back from that solidified universe into Grahitri, into the subjective nature of the experience, is the formatting, if you will, of spiritual consciousness or a spiritual mind, if you will. And so that's where the practices of yoga ultimately guide us, is the, if you will, the harmony of our being, the harmony of our mind, and the reconciliation of, the objects of experience, the grahya of experience, the objects. And they're numerous, right? They're all pervading, if you will. And they're always governed through the lens of the senses. And we unpacked manas and chitta more than a month ago, right? So we're having this understanding of the physical objective universe, but it's the observer in us that is the subjective part of that universe, where if you will, the conscious spirit is held. And so as the being evolves in a spiritual mind, what happens is that the capability to hold the planes of those realities in their own seat, if you will, develops very firmly. So in other words, you can be involved in the physical world and its mechanization and its functions and your participation in that, but at the same time, your perception, your mind is stationed in a witness field where there's no movement, there's no judgment, there's no patterning, there's no derangement, if you will, right? And so that'll be kind of our endeavor today, is to go through our practice, but always I'm just going to kind of peel us back on occasion to be seated in the observer consciousness, and that's called Ekatatva. And Eka means one, Tattva is principle. Ekatatva, one principle. And that one principle is the principle of observation. Yoga is an art form. Yoga, a practice whereby the practitioner is recreating the story of time. Time's origin is Grahitri, is a subjective universe. The universe's relationship with its own conscious evolution and the evolution of consciousness told through the vessel of the body, mind, spirit complex of the human species. My role will be to help you learn and discover time's origin in you. and the inner nature of spirit's potential. So, and then I'm going to do 3 offerings this morning: incense, a candle, and a conch that's filled with fruit and water and invisible flour, if you will, and that represents the mind. It's called Argya, right? The incense represents the all-pervading nature of spirit. The light represents being established in that state of high consciousness. And then the conch and the fruit and the water and the flower represent the mind being directed into the established light of being. All right, thanks, friends. That's all for Chai and Chat this morning. And, we'll just take a moment here. So get comfortable, excuse me, in your seated position here. And just begin to breathe into the belly. So as you inhale, the belly extends outward, and as you exhale, the belly floats towards the spine. One of the saints that I, if you will, have studied his teachings, Sri Aurobindo, talked about how symbolism, so as we do puja or ceremony, how symbolism is actually truth being revealed in the physical plane, where truth is being represented through symbols in the subtle realm. So allow your perception to begin to explore, if you will, the space that surrounds the body, the space within and the space without. And recognize that there's a fabric of connection between all that surrounds you, all beings, all plants, all animate and inanimate objects. And this is the nature of spirit, the nature of the Purusha, of Shiva, of the all-pervading field of consciousness. And into this, we offer the symbol of the incense, representing that all-pervading nature of consciousness, the fragrance as it exists everywhere. Om Gandham Samarpayami. And then we offer Deepam, we offer light, representing being established in the nature of that all-pervading consciousness. Om Deepam Samarpayami. And then we offer the conch, the fruit, the blueberries, and the water and the flower as a symbol of the mind being one-pointed, Ekatatva, into one principle of the spiritual world. Om Argyam Samarpayami. Okay, friends. I'm just going to slip back to my seated position here on my mat. Bring the chai with me. Move some of this stuff. Yeah, it's a glorious morning here at Shivalaya on Shivani platform. Yeah, a little cool, but glorious. Let's interlace the fingers here and extend the palms out, and then just gently float the hands and arms up, just opening up the front body. And then immediately, sensation appears and kind of dominates experience. And then the invitation here is just to kind of be the observer of any physical sensation, right? Through the lens of the quiet mind, if you will. Big inhale, reach. Next, I'll float the hands and arms down. Round the low back, kind of rock back on the sacrum here a little bit, stretching the back body as we know, and then sweep back up. And then exhale, rounding. And just find your own pacing here, your own rhythm, just working with movement and breath. One might find that the more one kind of smooths out, say, the movement and smooths out your breathing, the more capable the mind begins to kind of concentrate on that experience. And it's naturally training the witness awareness field to, develop, essentially. Yep. And then we'll meet here at the top, and then let the hands and arms float shoulder height. Let the right palm turn up, the left palm turn down, and then just twist the arms here, just kind of moving the upper arm bone in the shoulder joint, just kind of stirring, the humerus bone, they call it. And then let's swim the arms here a little bit. Swim the arms like so, doing that. Just waking things up. In the neutral position, eagle arms, a big inhale, and exhale, the right arm under the left, bending elbows, forearms, palms come together, elbows out and up, shoulder blades down the back, and then just a little turning of the head, a little stretching of the neck, if you will. Feeling that. Yep. Oh, yay. And then neutral position with the head in a float, hands and arms wide, like you're hugging a big beach ball. And then we'll switch this out. So the left arm under the right again, bending elbows, forearms, palms come together, elbows out and up, shoulder blades down the back, and then just sustaining a little turn of the head, this witness field in you. You're just observing. There may be a tendency to put a value to the sensation. It's like, oh, this feels good or not. And allow the mind to stay kind of equal here, neutral head, and then inhale, float hands and arms wide, and then exhale the hands and arms behind you. Because we all know that, yeah, there will be a certain sensation, and the tendency is to qualify that. I mean, that's how we've been taught to function in the world, is through pleasurable experiences, and things to avoid. Gently release the grip of the hand here, and then extend the right arm out, and then float. Excuse me, I'm clearing my voice. Left arm up and over here, and so that's an automatic kind of process that we've learned, is to just create pleasurable experiences, avoid painful ones, right? And so we're dividing, right? So we're more interested in the Grahya, in the object, versus the subject, Grahitri. And then inhale, float hand and arm up. Exhale, release it down. Extend that left hand, right palm turns up. So we're just obviously switching here. Inhale, float hand and arm up. Exhale it over. Breathe deep. And I get it too, I mean, I'm feeling when the body is moving, there's a certain sensation that, feels good or bad. It's like, oh, I want to repeat that, or I don't want to do that. It's natural tendency. Inhale, float on up. Next, I'll release hand and arm down. And then, so the suggestion is inhale, float, hands and arm to the sky. We'll twist to the right, releasing left hand down on the outside of that right knee. Right arm behind you, sit nice and tall. Breathe into the belly. Oh, yeah. And gently soften here, and we'll switch this out. So inhale, float hands and arms up. Then we twist then to now the left, releasing hand and arm down. So when we kind of hold a yoga pose, one mechanism is just to really reinforce what is the observer in you. Then nice big inhale and exhale, soften to neutral position. And then so we're back here and we'll come off of the seated position. So just peel off of this into tabletop. Come to all fours here. Take a moment, maybe extend one leg or the other behind you just to, allow the front of the hips to release. Feeling into that. And then let the left hand draw under the face, and then with an inhale, take the right hand to the sky, give the wrist a spin, breathe very deeply, and again, just observe. Yeah. And then a nice big inhale, and exhale, feeding now this right hand through on the inside left shoulder and ear to the mat. Left hand reaches top edge, hips left. Here. Breathing. And then a nice big inhale. And then so the left hand underneath you, ground it. And then float the right here. And then we'll switch this out. So ground when you're ready, the right hand, and float the left, reach up, twist, a little spin of the wrist rather. Breathe very deeply. Now big inhale. And exhale, feeding now this left hand through on the inside of the right shoulder and ear to the mat. Right hand reaches top edge, hips to the left. Breathing. Nice big inhale. And exhale now. Right hand back underneath you. Inhale. Take the left to the sky. To unravel that. Oh, yeah. And then from here, extend the right leg behind you. Tuck the back toes under on the mat first. Yeah, and then float the right leg hip height, feeling into that. And then the left arm shoulder height. Right? And a nice big inhale. And exhale, rounding, so elbow and knee towards one another. And then inhale, sweep open. Exhale, round. Really smooth movements here. We talked about it's Vata season, so we really just want to be really integrated in body and breath movement here. And then float, arm and shoulder again. And then sweep this left arm behind you, bend that right knee, and capture the foot or ankle possibly. And then just kind of squeeze the heel towards the buttocks to open up the front of the hip and the quad, and then just gently kick the foot into the hand, just a little bit here, waking all that up. Big inhale, then exhale, release the foot, and then check this out. Sweep the right foot over to the right, the toes point forward like so, hips drift back, and then the elbows bend, and we just stretch that high hamstring, the inner groin as well, likely. You'll find, Oh, yeah. And then gently, come on up, and then just back into neutral tabletop we go. And then we'll switch this out. So extend the left leg behind you, tuck the toes under initially, float the leg when you're ready, float the arm when you're ready, right arm, of course. And then a big inhale, and exhale, rounding, so elbow to knee. And then inhale, sweep open. And again, just be the observer. Exhale, rounding. Sweep open. Last time. Exhale, rounding. And then inhale, extend the leg and arm again. Then sweep this right arm behind you. Bend the left knee. Capture the foot. Possibly just track it towards the buttocks. Open up the front of the hip and the hamstring a little bit. Spread the toes and then kick the foot into the hand here. Just breathe. Stay with the breath. Yeah. A nice big inhale and exhale. Gently release the foot here, and then sweep this left foot over to the left off the mat. The foot grounds, the toes point forward, then the hips just drift back, going into that, and then just a little bend in the elbows as the heart sinks. And just breathe here. Stay with your breathing. It's like whatever one may need to tether kind of their perceptive field into the moment, whether it be the breath or just observing experience from an equal mind. All possibilities are good. And then just gently release. to neutral here. And then we'll find downward facing dog. So Adho Mukha Svanasana and then ready down dog. Yeah. Just take a moment here, wiggle it out. Stay with the breath. Kind of, put some energy to ground the roots of the fingers and drape the triceps to the earth. And then hollowing out the groins by drawing the belly button to the spine and the pubic bone back. Feel how that kind of naturally extends through the form. Yeah. Ooh. And then lift the heels, come up on the tippy toes, and then sink the heart so a little steeper pitch, a little deeper sensation possibly. And then gently release, and then we'll walk the feet to the hands here, a forward fold. The top of the mat here, Uttanasana. You know this as. Just take a minute there. You can shake out the head, yes and no, a little bit. Just stay with your breathing and sense of observing. Yeah. And then inhale, flat back here. So Ardha Uttanasana, feeling that. Lengthen from the tail to the crown. And a nice big inhale. And exhale, lengthen out. As you pull down, chin tucks, hands can release at the bottom. Yep. And then again, inhale, half lift, Ardha. And then exhale, folding. Ooh, and then one more time, inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. And then plural bend the knees, and we'll send now the left foot back into lunge. And then ground the left knee. So we're going to come down to start here. And then hands to the right knee or thigh. Kind of sink into the front leg here. Get a lot of space in this left hip flexor, and then float the hands and arms. Let the palms face forward though. You can kind of arch into the upper thoracic spine. Keep the core slightly toned here so the lumbar spine's happy. Feeling that. Yep. And then nice big inhale and exhale, hands to prayer. And then we'll twist to the right. So a little twist to the right, sinking armpit to knee possibly. Kind of floating the outside of that right hip back a little bit, squares off the hips, you'll find, and puts a little more sensation in the experience. Breathe deeply here. Yeah. And then a nice big inhale and exhale, gently release the twist here, hands plant, and then gently straighten the front leg here, pull the toes up and bow over the extended leg. So a little stretch of that right hamstring. Yeah, and then gently, carefully bend the front leg knee, plant hands, and then we'll step back into down dog. So gently into down dog. What happens, I feel, when we practice a little subtly to begin with, it allows our subtle body to be revealed somewhat. It allows our perception to then join into that more subtle fabric of experience. And the body is just slowly assimilating into a more vigorous kind of process, if you will, versus something that's, we're not maybe yet organized for. A little bend in these left footsteps here. And then right knee releases down. And then hands to the front knee. Yeah, the only party, that's happening here is the inner one, The only music, hopefully, is the stillness of your mind. Float hands and arms. So much of culture right now is suggesting, if you will, that everything is radically vibrant, you know, always moving, always in the field of sensation. Nice big inhale. Exhale, hands to prayer, twisting to the left here. And it's really the quality of inner stillness, if you will, that really allows for the vitality of perception to open. You know. And then a nice big inhale. And exhale, gently release the twist here. Hands plant, and then inhale, straighten the front leg, and then bow over the extended leg. Yep. And then a nice big inhale and exhale. We just simply step the back foot to the top of the mat in the forward fold. Yeah. Let the weight kind of track into the big toe mounds here. So a little more sensation in the meat of the hamstring muscles that way. And then inhale, half lift here. Pause. And a little bend the knees, cactus the arms, and then just let the elbows take you to standing with the flat back. We reach real tall. Take the palms together. Gaze up. Reach real tall. Big inhale, exhale, hands to prayer. Take a nice big inhale. Exhale, float the hands down. Palms turn open. Really smooth movements here. Inhale, float hands and arms to the sky. Reach. And then exhale, float, swan dive, fold down. Nice. And then inhale, half lift here. And exhale, fold. Now send the right leg back into the lunge. And then inhale, float the torso and float the arms so we'll come up. Feeling that. But again, the palms face forward here. Back leg is firm, heel lifting. And then with an inhale, bend the elbows, heart flourishes here. Just breathe deeply, just observing. And a nice big inhale. Exhale, hands to prayer. And then we'll twist now to the left. So right elbow on the outside of near thigh. Reaffirm the strength of the back leg. Open the heart space. Left shoulder away from left ear. And then maybe you open the arms even. So right hand to the earth, left hand to the sky. And then maybe that left arm over the head even, towards the front. Yeah, breathe. And a nice big inhale. And exhale, arm and hand down, plant. And then step back now into high plank. High push-up here. Yeah. Breathe deeply. Let a sense of presence fill your experience. And then allow for an observation, if you will, witness awareness of that experience. And then a big inhale and exhale to the knees, all the way to the belly here. And then inhale, Bhujangasana, Cobra Pose. Yep. Stay with the breath here. And a nice big inhale. Next, so we'll pulse this some. So float down. And then inhale, float on up. And exhale, float down. And then one more of these. Inhale, float on up. And then tuck the back toes under and exhale, lift the hips into down dog. Deepening into the breath, smoothing out the sensation of inhaling and exhaling. Up a little bend the knees, right foot steps, right hand here. And once again, foot torso. Take a minute. Both the arms, palms face forward here. Again, keep the core toned. Belly button to the spine active. Heel lifting, quad active. Back leg, of course. And then with an inhale, elbows bend, heart opens. Oh, yeah. Into that, just observing. And a nice big inhale and exhale, hands to prayer. And then we twist to the right. And so sinking, armpit to knee. Really engage back leg quad here. Heart opens. Maybe left hand earth, right hand stars. Stay with the breath. And then this right arm over the head. Just reach. Breathe. Oh, yeah. A nice big inhale. Exhale, hand down, look down. And then the back foot steps to the top of the mat here. Folding forward, Uttanasana. Breathing. And half lift, hands mid-shins. Pausing here, a little bend the elbows. Cactus arms, elbows lift to standing, flat back we go. Palms together, gaze up. And then with an inhale here, bend the elbows, standing back bend. Core stays toned here, breathing. Stay with the breath. Lean into a little bit if you like. And then reach up. Exhale, hands to heart here. Inhale, you're breathing. Exhale, float hands and arms down. And then inhale, sweep to the sky. Exhale, swan dive. Just really smooth, fluid movements here, synchronizing breath and movement. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Bend knees, send the left leg back into the lunge. Inhale, float upper body and arms, reach. Then exhale, sweep hands and arms behind you and interlace the fingers here and just pause. And then pivot the torso up. Reaffirm the strength of the back leg. Just for a moment here. Go into that. And then exhale the breath completely. Then inhale, float hands and arms, so reach. And exhale, gently float out of it. We plant, step back, high plank. Take a nice big inhale here. Exhale to the knees, to the belly. And then Sphinx Pose, so modified cobra, elbow stack under the shoulders. So we come on up, it looks like this. Take a moment here and kind of energetically or isometrically say, track the elbows towards the waist, and there's just a little tuck in the chin, just a little tuck. Feel that? Oh yeah. And then inch the left hand forward. So inch it forward and then bend the right knee. And then just put the weight into this left forearm, left elbow, and then sweep this right arm behind you and capture the foot. Draw the heel towards the buttocks, the glute. Maybe the hand's on top of the foot. Maybe you're just grabbing the ankle. Whatever's suitable for your practice. For deeper possibilities, the hand come on to the top of the foot and the fingers face forward like this. Breathe deeply. And then gently kick the foot into the hand, like so. So this is Ardha Dhanurasana. So half bow, and then possibly straighten the left arm. And just breathe here. Stay with the breath. Oh yeah. And then gently we'll come out of it. So bend the left elbow, release that right foot, leg down, and then plant the right arm. I'm going to adjust myself on my mat a little bit. And then right hand reaches forward. And then the left knee bends. Capture the foot or ankle. A little stretch of the quad. Feeling into that. However works for you. Breathe deeply. Just observing. And then gently kick the foot into the hand. The toes can spread of that left foot. And you can see the torso begins to rise. And then possibly you can straighten that right arm. And just breathe deeply here. Stay with the breath. That's a lot. Yeah. And a nice big inhale. And exhale gently. Release the foot. Come down. Plant the hands under the armpits here. And I'll come up into tabletop pose. Do an inhale, exhale. So we kind of neutralize, the skeletal and muscle systems before we counter pose into child's pose. So just gently release the hips to the heels. Relaxing here. So nice. And then gently, we'll meet in down dog. So inhale the tabletop, tuck the back toes under, and exhale, lift the hips back. Nice, into downward facing dog. Now a little back work. We'll lengthen the front spine. It's good medicine. Then Pluto bend the knees, left foot, steps to left hand, inner foot, torso, float arms, come on up. That's it, a nice big inhale. And exhale, the hands behind you, interlace the fingers here. And then once again, the torso kind of pivots up. Breathe in. And then exhale the breath completely. And then inhale, reach the hands and arms to the sky. Exhale, step the back foot to the top of the mat, folding forward, Uttanasana. And this time, inhale, sweep all the way to standing flat back, though still. Reach to the sky, hands to prayer, gaze up. Exhale, hands to the heart here. So one movement, one breath. I'll get us through this big inhale. And exhale, release the hands down and just be the observer. So Grahitri. Inhale, float hands and arms up, so reach. Exhale, swan dive, fold forward, hinging at the hips. And then inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold, send the right leg back into the lunge. Inhale, float torso, float arms. Exhale, gently release all the way down. Hands plant, step back, high plank, high push up here. Inhale, breath. Exhale, 8 points bowing, hips stay lifted. Ashtanga Prananasana. Inhale, pull forward, cobra or upward facing dog this time. And then exhale, lift the hips, down dog. Put a little bend in the knees. Send the right foot to the right hand here. Inhale, float torso, float arms. Come on up. And then exhale, back foot steps forward, Uttanasana, we know. And then swan soars to standing, Urdhva Namaskara, upper salutation. And exhale, hands to prayer. Pause here for a moment. Let the eyes close. And just reaffirm the observer. Yep. And we'll do one more complete round of Surya Namaskar in the lineage of traditional Hatha Yoga practice. Taught by many great teachers over really thousands of years. And we'll do both sides. Eyes open, palms spin open, inhale, float hands and arms up with the intention of being the silent observer. Exhale, hinge, holding forward at the hips, send the left leg back into the lunge. Inhale, float, torso, arms. Exhale, release, plant hands, step back, high plank, high push up. Inhale, breath. Exhale, 8 points bowing, Ashtanga Pranam. Inhale, pull forward, cobra, up dog. Exhale, lift the hips, down dog. Left foot steps, left hand. Just observing, inhale, float torso, float arms. Grahitri. Exhale, back foot steps, folding forward. And then inhale, reach all the way to the stars. Exhale, prayer, the heart. Inhale here at the heart. Exhale, float hands and arms down, palms turn open. Inhale, sweep. Exhale, swan dive. Really supple and slow movements. Synchronized breathing. Right leg goes back. Inhale, float torso, arms. Exhale, float down. Just enjoy the process of movement and breath. Inhale. Exhale, 8 points. Inhale, pull forward, cobra or up dog. Exhale, down dog. Little bend in the knees, right foot steps. Foot, torso, arms. Exhale, back foot steps, moving forward. Inhale, reach to the sky. Let the palms turn up, the arms open a bit. And just breathe very deeply here. Just let the torso be spacious. Feel a sense of wideness in the being, a sense of luminosity. And then just float the hands down by the sides. Just release effort here completely. Let the eyes close. Reflecting on the symbolism of the incense, the all-pervading nature of consciousness represented in the fragrance. And then reflecting on the deepam, the light, as a symbol of being established fully in that sense of pervading awareness. That's your origin state. That is time's origin. This is the beginning of all things. And then finally, the symbol of the mind being one-pointed, being Ekatatva, having one principle, being fully directed into that space of the fabric of pure consciousness. And then let the hands drift behind you, interlacing the fingers here. You can open the eyes, inhale the breath. And exhale, hinging, pulling forward at the hips here, hands and arms and such. Float up and over the head. Be mindful here. Just a lot of, back might be still a little sensitive. Yeah, and a nice big inhale. And exhale, gently release the grip of the hands here. Plant hands, step just gently back into down dog. So we meet in down dog. Breathe deeply. Nourish the body with your breath. Yeah, and then take the right leg hip height here. Oh, yeah, and then let the leg go higher. The hip turns open. Work the foot straight to the sky. Go into that. Breathe in. Bend the knee. Track the foot over to the left. Just open up. Then inhale the leg up straight, and exhale right knee to the left elbow. Just hold on to that for a moment. And then inhale the leg behind you. Once again, and exhale, release it down. And then we'll switch this out. So when you're ready, float the left leg, hip height here, extend the leg back. And then take the leg higher. Hip naturally spins open. Work the foot straight to the sky. And then bend the left knee, tuck the foot over to the right. Breathing deeply. And then inhale, straighten that left leg, left knee, right elbow. Give her a little squeeze. Just hold on to it for a moment here. And then inhale, the leg behind you. Exhale, release it down. And then we meet in Warrior One. Virabhadrasana 1. Right foot, right hand, left heel pivots down. Come to standing. We're here. Take a minute. Again, just observing. Float hands and arms to the sky. Exhale, hands behind you. Interlace the fingers. Inhale, lengthen front spine. Exhale, bow the torso on the inside of this right leg. Hands and arms over the head. Reach. Go into the hip. So nice. And then inhale, half lift. Release the back heel, point the heel to the sky. So modified Warrior 3. We know this. Inhale, straighten the front leg and lift the back leg. Body down, leg up. Hands to prayer at the heart center. Breathe in. And then forward folding, standing split. Hands to the shin or ankle or the earth, forehead to the shin or so. And then careful bend in the knee. Release the back foot down. Then inhale, foot torso, foot arms go back into Warrior One. Then exhale, hands to the waist. Inhale, straighten the front leg. And then exhale, pivot 180 degrees to your left. Spin all the way around. You have to step this right leg out to square off the hips. When you're ready, no float, hands and arms. Exhale, arms behind you, interlace fingers. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold the torso. Hands and arms over the head, reach. Oh yeah. And then inhale, half lift, release that right foot, heel to the sky. Stand firm on the left leg, inhale, straighten the left leg. As you float the right leg, body down, leg up, breathing. Yep, and then hands to prayer, here at the heart. Then hinging at the hips, folding forward. Hands to the left ankle, the earth, forehead towards the shin. Breathing. Stay with the breath. Oh yeah, and then a careful bend of the knee of the stand leg. Release the back foot down. Inhale, float hands and arms so we reach back up. Yeah, big inhale. Exhale, hands to the waist. Inhale, straighten the front leg. Exhale, pivot 180 degrees. Warrior two now. Warrior two. Hands and arms float shoulder height. Just observing. That's all we're doing. We're just observing the experience. A big inhale. Exhale, sink lower. Then inhale, straighten front leg, reach arms over the head. Exhale, bend front leg, knee, float arms, shoulder height. And again, inhale, straighten, reach. Exhale, bend, float. Inhale, straighten, reach. Oh, and then leave this left arm by the left ear, bend into the right knee, right forearm, right thigh extended side angle. So Parsvakonasana, we know this. Breathing. Really reach here. And exhale the breath completely. Fluid movements. Inhale, straighten the front leg. Left hand, left leg, right arm over the head. Breathe here. Yeah, nice big inhale. And exhale, hands and arms, shoulder height, triangle pose, big inhale. Next, I'll just pivot forward, reach, and then tip when you're ready. So really long lines of the body. And then Ardha Chandrasana, half moon, a big inhale, exhale, bend the front leg, knee, step the back foot in, plant the front hand in front of the front foot on the earth or a block you choose. Then we've already kind of opened the body for this. Kind of the purpose here. So bend the left knee and capture the foot or ankle with the left hand. And then just kick the foot into the hand. Just open up. Stay with the breath. Oh yeah. And then a careful bend in the knee of the standing leg. Release that left foot down, that back foot down. Inhale, foot back up into warrior two. Pose here. Big inhale. Exhale, hands to prayer, or hands to the waist rather. Sorry, and then inhale, straighten the front leg. And then exhale, pivot 180 degrees again. Back into warrior two. Floating hands and arms. Breathe. Sink a little lower. Then inhale, straighten the front leg. Reach arms over the head. Exhale, bend, sink. Inhale, straighten, reach. Exhale, bend, sink. Last time here. Inhale, straighten, reach, and then just keep this right arm by the right ear, bend left knee, left forearm, left thigh, extend the side angle, really open up here. Stay with the breath. Oh yeah. And then exhale the breathing completely, moving fluidly, reverse warrior. So straighten the front leg, right hand, right leg, left arm over the head. Oh yeah. And then a nice big inhale. And exhale, hands and arms, shoulder height, thumbs to the sky, triangle pose, big inhale. Exhale, just pivot forward, tip the torso when that makes sense. Big long lines, the body here. Breathe in. And then look down, bend the front leg, knee, step the back foot in, plant the front hand in front of the front foot. Straighten the front leg as you lift the back leg. Breathe here. And then possibly bend now the right knee, capturing foot or ankle, kicking the foot into the hand here. Stay with the breath. Oh yeah. Then a careful bend in the stay leg knee, release the back foot down. Float torso, float arms. So nice and big inhale. Exhale, hands to the waist. Inhale, straighten the front leg, pivot this arm left foot in, turn the right foot out, and then just gently step the back foot to the top of the mat. Should be at the top of the mat, facing forward. Let the eyes close here. Take a moment. Integrate all that. Observing. Witness awareness. And just gently open the eyes here. I'm just going to turn and face you. Put the weight into this right leg, and then float the left foot above the right knee in a figure four, and just bend into the standing leg knee here. Just sink in a little bit. Ooh, see, a little warmer. Yeah. And then maybe a little lower, maybe hands to the earth, say. You're feeling into that. Little space for that hip. And then gently, we begin to come up. We're not done though. Kind of energetically let the hands release down and float the knee. Come to standing. Just push the earth away with that right leg. And then float the arms here, reach in. And then let the leg go about 45 degrees out. Then float the foot back as you reach real tall. And plant that foot. Yeah. Big inhale. And exhale, release the hands and arms down by the side. And then we work the weight into this left foot. Balancing. I'm mirroring you, so you know. So figure four, hands to prayer, sinking. Oh, yeah. Breathing. Oh, maybe hands to the earth here. A little something for that hip. Oh, yeah. And then gently, we come up halfway, and then the hands reach down, and then the knee floats. We push the earth away with that left leg. Arms to the sky. Leg extends. And then float the foot back. Reach real tall. Big inhale. And exhale. This time we'll just swan dive, folding forward here. Half lift, Ardha. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees. Plant the hands. Down dog. Yeah, down dog. And then child's pose here. Just release to the knees. Hips to the heels. Forehead, earth. Observing. And then just gently inhale, come on up. I'm just going to modify the camera angle here a little bit. It's still good. Okay. And then extend the legs out in front of you. And this over here. And notice the sun is a little lower in the sky these days, and yeah, a little brighter. These lower angles. So legs extend here, like so. Dandasana as a transition. You know this is staff pose. Then reach the hands and arms to the sky. Just reach up. Yeah. Ooh. And then exhale, gently release the hands behind you here, about 8 inches or so. And this is called Pors Bow Tanasana. Inhale, float the hips up. There we go. Shoulders move away from the ears here. Stay with the breath. Yeah. And a nice big inhale. And exhale, gently release the hips down. Yeah. Going into that for a moment. Really good. And then from here, just a little experiment. I'm going to remove my socks. So just bear with me. My feet are getting pretty warm now. Track the right knee up and capture the instep with the right hand, and then just kind of draw the foot back. So feeling into this hip crease, if you will. Yeah. And then we'll cradle the leg. And so elbow crease to foot, like so. So there's that figure 4 again, and just kind of a little movement in the hip area. Oh, yeah. Really nice. And then draw the foot back again, and then work possibly the calf up under the shoulder like so. So it gets a little tricky. Work with what you got on this. And then plant now this right hand, the left hand to the knife edge of that right foot like so. The elbow lifts of this left arm, and then just gently straighten the leg. And that can be a lot. Breathe here. Really nice. And then put a little bend in that now, that right knee, and then let the foot float on the outside of the left leg like so. And then sit nice and tall here. Sit straight, hug elbow crease to knee, and then just sweep this right arm behind you. Yeah. And then possibly this left arm can float up and over that right knee. Breathe. Yeah. So nice. And then gently we unravel all the way here, pivot all the way around, come onto the forearms like so, and then just breathe into the belly. So kind of push the belly outward as you inhale the breath. Yeah. And then gently we'll flow back into neutral positions and then extend the leg. Yeah, nice. And then we'll track now this left foot in, little hug her in, like so. Get into that hip crease. And then foot into the elbow crease, like so. Cradle it. So there's that figure 4 again. Leave a little movement here, a little rocking. Side to side. Get my sit bones back on my mat. And release, and then track that foot back again. And then the leg up onto the shoulder, possibly. And then knife edge. And then with an inhale, we'll straighten this left leg. Again, breathing. Stay with the breath. Going into that. And work with what you got. I know that can be a lot. And then bend the knee here. And then just float the foot on the outside. Now this extended leg. Sit tall. And then right elbow crease to left knee likely is where we're headed. And then this left arm behind you. So twist. Maybe float the right arm up and over. Deeper twist. Breathe here. That's it. And then a nice big inhale. And exhale, we counter this and float all the way around, forearms ground, like so. And then just breathe into the belly. Stay with the breath. Nice. And then gently drawing up to neutral here. Extend this now left leg. Hands to the shins, like so. The action is up in the pose. You can see my chin is tucking slightly. Yep. And then isometrically, we're pulling the legs into the pelvis this way. And the hamstrings slowly release. The tendency is to lead with the chin, and so give the chin a little bit of a tuck there. Yep. And then a nice big inhale. And now exhale, just round down, let the head release. The hands can float forward. Just stay with the breath here. Again, just observing. And then just gently, track the hands back up the legs here. And then we'll make our way onto our backs. I'm just going to spin around here. Gently using the core muscles, just float onto your back. Extend the arms over the head long. Breathe deeply. Maybe point and flex the feet or wiggle the hips a little. Yeah, and then hug the knees into the chest here. Give them a little hug. Rock side to side. Give the body a good little massage on the spine. It's wild. There's nothing in the sky up here except blue and also the moon. And now an airplane. But it's like there's not one cloud. It's wild. We'll come into Viparita Karani Mudra. Our version here, so ground the hands, let the feet lift, the hips lift. The body, as we know, comes into a V shape. As the hips rest in the hands, the gaze is straight. Just stay with it here. Just relax into it. Again, just a sense of Grahitri, the subject, the observer, the one who's unbound to Grahya, to the object. And eventually, what's interesting is that Grahitri, the subject, becomes the object. They merge. And we'll gently float out of this. So release the hips from the hands. The hands come down, the hips float down here. Just take a minute, chill. And we'll come into Shavasana. We'll do our breath retentions though. Extend the legs out long. Feet roll open, palms turn open. Exhale the breath completely, and then take a nice big inhale and hold the breath in and just wait. So inhale and hold the breath. And then gently exhale your breathing. And then one more time, but we'll pooch out the belly. So exhale the breath completely. And then take a big inhale. Hold the breath. Pooch out the belly. And then gently exhale out your breathing. And just float this right into Shavasana in the corpse pose. Just make any adjustments for comfort. And Shavasana, in a way, is the quintessential experience of Grahitri, of the subjective reality that everything in the body and the mind become very passive and soft here. And then we gently find this attunement of the being in its faculty of awareness. Attuning, faculty, awareness. Very gently here, awaken into awareness. 90% Grahitri, 90% subjective reality, 10% Grahya, objective reality. Gently let your breath lengthen. And just recognizing that which is the objective experience and the subjective observer. So you can feel the body expanding as the breath breathes the body. It's an interesting process where there's this natural field of expansion, literally from the feet to the head. As you inhale, you might even be able to feel your skin expand. And then awakening further into the fabric of the earth body, adding a little bit of movement to the hands or feet, stretching, hugging the knees. The suggestion here is to come to the left side of the body, a little ball shape for a moment. Just refabricating that sense of observing, and then gently come to seated here when you're ready. Coming on up. Take a moment to establish the seated meditation position here. For those of you who may be newer on the call, we have about 25 minutes more of practice, a little pranayama in our meditation. For our pranayama practice today, I'd like to start out with Nadi Shodhan. We know this as nerve cleansing practice. In English vernacular, it's called alternate nostril breathing. But we know this as nerve cleansing practice, so Nadi Shodhan. As a reminder for the practice, or if it's new, we fold the middle finger and the index finger into the palm of the hand. This is called Vishnu Mudra. I'm demonstrating that. Then we bring the hand to the face, the elbow lifts. Then a little gentle exhale, just teach the first one. Close the right nostril and then inhale through the left nostril. Full yogic breath here, so belly, ribs, chest. Get to the top of the breath, lift the thumb, take the ring finger, close the left nostril and exhale through the right. And then with the full yogic breath, gently inhale through the right nostril. Lift the ring finger, take the thumb, close now the right nostril and exhale through the left. And this constitutes one round of Nadi Shodhan. And just continue the practice at your own pacing. As you continue the practice, again, allow for the sensation of being the observer, the witnesser, to field the field of your experience. One can allow for the perception to be, if you will, um, organized through the experience of the body or through the awareness of experience, and that's our preference. There's always this unique commitment to experiencing the now moment. And then just gently complete the round that you're on by exhaling out the left nostril, bringing this practice to completion. And then we'll practice Triband Pranayama, the three lock practice. As a reminder, we're engaging Mula Bandha and Jalanhar Bandha, the root lock and the throat lock, as we inhale and then eventually hold the breath in. The root lock engaging anal sphincter muscle area, the throat lock, chin into the hollow throat, sternum lifts, the glottis closes by kind of turning the corners of the mouth up, and then lift the chin, fully exhale, lean forward, and then draw the belly to the spine, and then up under the rib cage, engaging Uddiyana Bandha, holding the breath out for a few counts. I'll teach the first one, and then we'll be free to practice on our own as time permits. So exhale the breath completely. Begin a full yogic breath so the belly expands, inhaling. Then as the belly draws to the spine, engage Mula Bandha, so the root lock. Keep inhaling. Get to the top of the breath. Release the chin down into the hollow of the throat. Lift the sternum. Turn the corners of the mouth up and hold the breath in. And then gently lift the chin and exhale your breathing. Lean forward slightly, turn the hands in or ground them on the earth on the fingertips, and then draw the belly to the spine up under the rib cage as you hold the breath completely out of the body. And then gently relax the body, or belly down rather, and inhale, straighten the torso for a catch breath. And then begin the next round on your own here as time permits. Triband Pranayam, the three lock practice, engaging Mula Bandha, Jalanhara Bandha, the throat lock, holding the breath in for as long as comfortable. You don't have to strain, but give it a little time. And then exhaling, leaning forward, Uddiyana Bandha, the navel lock. And after your next exhale retention, complete this practice, letting the breath be normalized here. And then one final pranayam, Dirga Rechak pranayam is the name of it. Very simple. It means extended exhalation, extended exhale. And so take a full yogic breath on an inhale, and very, very, very slowly release the breath on your exhale. One is encouraged to go to the very, very bottom of the exhale breath, and all the while sustaining, though, this sense of witness awareness, this sense of Grahitri, the subjective influence, if you will. And then after your next exhalation here, complete this practice in entirely releasing the breath from modification. The meditation here is on conscious awareness, the mantra of Om, placing, though, your directed awareness above the crown of the head. So just feel, with the 6 inches or so of the top of your head. Let your awareness take a seat there, be very stable. And just gently let the mantra of Om float above the head as you inhale and exhale gently. One of the things with the sadhana is you let the practice take care of itself. Just stay with the practice, and then the deeper natures will begin to reveal themselves. And then very gently let the mantra subside here. And let all the faculties of the being just empty into conscious awareness. One is invited to be guided to recognize the stillness and the peace. At Shivalaya, the trees and the animals, they also do their sadhana when we do our sadhana. Perfect stillness and perfect silence. It's designing all the life's energies through Grahitri, through the subjective reality. The peace that exists in the being is as a seat, as an asana inside of each one of us. And we'll chant the mantra of Om together just complete our practice. So just exhale your breathing and then inhale here. Namaste, friends. Slip here a little closer. And thank you very much for joining on the stream as always, and considering the whole thing of our process of objective and subjective realities in the field of our karmic understanding is that we're always objectifying our reality, and that's the nature of being. Yeah, thank you very much, Stephanie and Lori, Sarah, Tammy. So our supporting quality to kind of get through our life, if you will, is to work with our yoga in such a way that we can peel back what is stillness inside of us, what is the silence. Thank you, Crystal. And let that be a component of our awareness. We enjoin in the objective reality because we're embodied beings, but we must consider for spiritual practice enjoining in the subjective reality as an evolutionary process of our consciousness. Then what goes on is the intelligent design of the universe that's kind of organized for our being can unfold in its way that we can be present with that experience, you know? And so there's never a bad day where you pivot back to saying, "Am I peaceful? Am I present?" You know, is my mind still, right? And so, yeah, thanks again for, this incredible opportunity to unpack these teachings with you guys. Consider the Venmo love, always appreciative of that, and appreciative of your commitment, to to your practice and sharing that time and space um, with me and with everyone that's in the field of this, you know, um, stream. It's really, really amazing. So, love, peace, friends. Love, peace. Om.